Today we are making a video on Fedora Linux 38 with a KDE Plasma desktop spin. It's a desktop spin of a KDE Plasma, and here is the boot menu, and this is the Fedora Linux 38 stable version of a KDE Plasma desktop spin. So this is the boot menu. In order to boot in a live mode, just click on Start Fedora KDE Live 38, and this is the test this media and start Fedora KDE Live and troubleshooting. This is to test the ISO file. This is to boot in a live mode, and this is the troubleshooting. So let's click on enter. It's going to boot in a minute. A maximum it should take a minute, and or minimum like 30 to 40 seconds. And I forgot to mention that I am running it on a VMware, which is virtualization, with 80 GB of hard disk to 4 GB of RAM, and with the 2 processors. Sorry if I stutter, I'm a little bit of tired, so remember that too. And ignore the keyboard and mouse voice, because my microphone should be picking up every noise. So we booted up the live mode. It should be taking like a minute maximum, and it's a stable version. The Fedora announced today that on April 18th. So here is a Fedora logo loading. Almost it should take like another 20 to 30 seconds maybe. I already made another video of Fedora 38, just the GNOME version. Today if you want to watch that, you can watch that too. I make 2 videos daily, so the other video was Fedora Workstation, which is I already made that. So here is the KDE Plasma desktop environment spin. So if you want, you can watch that after this. So almost I think it should take a few more seconds. I think we should be having a KDE Plasma latest version, which is 5.27.4 like that. That's the latest version. As you can see, here is the KDE Plasma logo and Plasma made by KDE. It should take a few more seconds, which is almost now it's 30 seconds. It took almost like 25 to 30 seconds. It should take a few more seconds to load up the desktop layout, and we should be having our Fedora 38 KDE desktop spin. Here is a mouse pointer, and we almost have our KDE Plasma desktop spin of Fedora 38. Let me change the display resolution. I am using a VMware, so it automatically changes the display resolution. It's a stable ISO file released or a stable version release, so it's always better to wait for a few more seconds. We don't know if we have bugs. If they don't have bugs, that should be good. You need to it's always better to boot it in a live mode, and if you are satisfied without any bugs, just go with the installation. If you encountered any bugs, so it's better to wait for a few days. So again, always while installing any Linux distro, always better idea go with the live boot first and then go to the installation. So let's check the system monitor before opening any apps, because we need to have an idea of how much resources will it consume before the opening apps. And I'm going to open the system monitor again at the end of the video after running through all the apps and settings and some features, and you should be having an idea of how much resources will be consuming. Right now the memory is almost 1.6 GB, which is pretty weird, because the Fedora Workstation GNOME desktop environment has a 1.2 GB, something like that. If you want to watch that, you can watch that after this video. I already made that too. Disk is here. CPU is almost going good here, almost like 25%, under 25%. Here is the KDE Plasma version, which is 5.27.4. This is the latest version, and operating system is a Fedora Linux 38 with a KDE Plasma desktop spin, and KDE framework version is a 5.104 or 104, you can call it. Qt version is a 5.15.8, and some network info. You don't need to remember or worry about the network. Here are the applications running right now in the beginning of the video. Let's go to the applications, which will show clear here. So these are the applications running, and here is the history of a CPU and memory. CPU is having some high peak here, just a bit here, and it's going stable. And the memory is almost a 1.6 GB, which is I don't think it's a good option in my opinion. It's 1.6 GB. Let's see the CPU after running through all the apps, features and settings, all these things. Let's go to the process. Just remember all these things. If you can't remember, just write down. If you can't write down, you can just put the video side by side of beginning of the video and ending of the video in your computer or tab, mobile, anything you have. You will be having info of the resources consumed before and after the video, or beginning of the video or almost ending of the video. So CPU is almost 1.6 GB, not the CPU. RAM is 1.6 GB, CPU is almost 25% under. So let's check the version of the system monitor, which should be 5.27.4. Let's close this thing and open the terminal, which is console in the KDE Plasma desktop environment. You already know that. So let's maximize this thing. Check about the console version 22.12.3, which is same version in every KDE Plasma versions. So let's type in few important commands to get the distro info, which should be like a inxi-sv8 to grab all the distro info. Command not found, because we need to install the inxi before typing this command. So let's go to new tab and type in the sudo dnf and install inxi. This is the command you need to type in to get the inxi installed. Click on enter. Let's close the old tab of the terminal. It should take a few seconds or a few minutes. So instead of waiting for this, let's go through all the features which are available. Here are the desktop. Calendar time is here. Notifications, complete notifications. As you can see, the notifications title is going almost smoothly. So it's a network, and this kind of devices. This is a network, and this is the volume. You can change the settings here. You can even change the size of the taskbar or the notification bar here. The mouse pointer is pretty weird, as you can see here. Instead of giving the mouse pointer, it's a different option, like a scrolling option. And these are the some changes. Let's try to find what are the desktop features or desktop wallpapers, latest desktop wallpapers available in Fedora Linux 38. And it's a bit of lag here and there, as you can see. It's taking a delay, or it's delaying about. I didn't change anything. Let's go with about. Discard. About version is a folder view 3.0, which is same in every version. Ignore the animal voices here. So here are the desktop wallpapers available, which is almost same as the other or the older versions. There is nothing changed here. These are all the wallpapers which are available in every KDE Plasma desktop environment. So nothing from Fedora 38, I guess. So let's cancel this thing. Mouse pointer is working pretty weird, as you can see. Instead of pointer, it's showing hand button. Let's see the terminal is installed or not. It's taking a lot of time still. Let's minimize this thing. Instead of waiting, let's check other options. Add widgets. There's nothing change, because it's a KDE Plasma 5.27, and the available things should be same as the KDE Plasma 5.27, as you can see. So let's see other options, like add widgets. You can add widgets. These are all the same things which are available in the KDE Plasma desktop environments. On the application side, which comes pre-installed, are here. Nothing from Fedora 38. You already know nothing comes from the Fedora Linux, the apps. These are all the KDE Plasma desktop environment apps, just the app store. This thing is from Fedora. As you can see, it's taking a lot of time. I don't know, instead of opening the terminal, it opened the Firefox web browser. No problem, let's wait. It's a bit of lag, as you can see. It's not a lag, it's a delaying of the response, as you can see. It's a Wayland, so it's going to take time, and even the terminal is taking a lot of time. Let's minimize this thing, and I think we should be having our web browser opened. Here is some options. On the administration side, you have some apps, development, education, and as you can see, here is a glitch on the games, graphics, internet. Just for 3 apps, it's taking a delay and a bit of lag here and there. As you can see, here is a lag, and the mouse pointer is going crazy. Nothing is proper here. Instead of getting the mouse pointer here, it's going there. So I don't know whether it's a bug or something like that. The Fedora GNOME version worked properly. I already made a video on it today, so if you want, you can check that out too. The mouse pointer is also going crazy and not working properly. Let me show you how to download the Fedora 38 KDE Plasma desktop spin. Just type in the Fedora 38 as search term and desktop spins as the search term in your search bar or in your search engine, which should be, this is the first URL, and this is the beta version. Click on Linux desktop spins. Here are the desktop spins available. So here are the file size. If you want to download, you can download it right from here. I want the KDE Plasma, which is here. It says blocking. I don't know what that means. The KDE Plasma desktop spin is going crazy. As you can see, it doesn't allow me to do anything. Maybe because of the terminal running behind it. And we have the Xfce. Let's try to click on Y. If you want to install Xfce, you need to type Y and N for no. It should take few more seconds. Instead of waiting for this, let's download these desktop spins. So download Fedora desktop spins. Let's click on that. It's a beta, but I will show you how to remove the beta from here. Instead of Fedora pre-release, just close this thing. Click on enter, and here you can see this is the URL you need to type in. You just need to remember the remove the pre-release in front of that, and you should be having a Fedora spins here. This is the KDE Plasma and a bunch of other desktop spins available right here. Let's go and download the KDE Plasma desktop spin. Just ignore my mouse cursor sound and the keyboard, which is common in every of my video. So click on download, and we should be having our ISO file, which is a 1.8 GB for 64-bit. It's only available for 64-bit, so remember that. If you want to verify your download, you can verify. I'm just going to click on download, and it should take a few seconds, and we should be having our Fedora 38 KDE Plasma desktop spin downloading. As you can see, 2.2 GB of file size. Let's close this thing. That was the URL, that was the download. So let's close this thing, and let's go to the terminal which we opened before. It took a lot of time. Let's click on Y to successfully install. It's going to take a few more seconds. Instead of waiting for this, let's go to the package managers. Version is 2.1.2. Let's close this thing, and KDE Plasma applications, that was the version. So, and here you can see there is a bit of delay or a lag. It's not lag, it's taking a lot of time. Let's try to close this thing. Can we close? It says not responding. So we should be having our terminal almost done, and it's almost complete. Let's type in the command, which is inxi-sv8. This is the command to get every distro info. So here is our complete info. Let me change the color first so you can see properly. By going to preference, settings, I'll show you the about console. This is the version of console. We need to find the colors here. Can we find it? If we can't find it, let's just go like that. Configure notification. We should be having our settings here. I don't know where. Instead of waiting for that thing, let's go with the color black theme. I'm just going to highlight so you properly see. Host is a local host live because we didn't choose the username for the distro, so it's going to keep it like a local host. And the kernel version is 6.2.9-300 Fedora Linux 38, and it's a 64-bit architecture. The mouse pointer is going crazy, as you can see. I'm trying to copy the first one, but it's going under the thing. So compiler GCC version is a 2.39-9 Fedora 38. So it's a live boot. The desktop environment is KDE Plasma. Version is 5.27.4. TKQT version is 5.15.8 K-Wayland, and the distro is Fedora release 38, and I'm running it on a VMware, so it's going to say machine is a VMware, and RAM is almost a 4 GB and it's consuming 2 GB, almost 50%. And this is my CPU 12 Gen. If you want, you can go through all these things. Let me scroll down and find some other options or some other info of the distro. Again, the mouse pointer is giving torture. So VMWGFX version is a 2.20.0.0. Xwayland version is 22.1.9. Xorg version is 1.20.14. Display is Wayland, server Xorg, which I already mentioned. And OpenGL version is 4.1. Mesa is 23.0.1. So let's scroll it down and find Pipewire version is 0.3.67. You need to say 0.67 after the point. It should be 67, not 67. That's the common thing you should remember. So let's see. And here is the 80 GB of hard disk. Again, the mouse scroll went down. Mouse pointer is going down. That's pretty weird. Use is this much. Let's scroll it down and find other options. These are some info. If you want to read it, you can read it. So INXI version is 3.3.26. Systemd version is 253. Processors running are 288. Uptime is 14 minutes. It's almost 14 minutes. Wakeups is 151. Bash version is 5.2.15. So again, let's type in some other commands, which is same like this command, but it will give you in a short form. For example, INXI, it will give the same information as the above, but in a short form, like INXI -b. Again, same information, nothing changed. Again, one more command, which is INXI-G. Again, same info, just in a short form. The other command is cat-etc issue, cat/etc/issue, or you can call it /. And here is the info. Let's type in htop. Htop is not installed, so it's going to say not installed or command not found. So let's try to install the htop by typing sudo dnf install htop, and we should be having our htop almost installed. Click on Y, and you can see here and there is a bit of a delay, and sometimes it's a big delay. So it's going to take a few seconds to install, and it's installed. Let's type in htop and we'll get our info. Memory is almost 1.8 GB, and the swap is almost 697 MB, and CPU is here. Tasks are 101. So let's close this thing. Close the window. I'm going to show you the installation process. I'm not going to install it on my PC. I'm just going to show you the installation process or the formality of installation. So we should take few more seconds to show up the installer or open up the installer. It should take like a maximum of 10 seconds or 15 seconds. It took almost like 15 seconds or 10 seconds for me. First you need to choose your language. I'm choosing English. You can choose any language. There are plenty of languages available. Almost every language, I guess. I'm choosing United States English. Click on continue. And these are some of the options you need to complete all these things. Installation destination. Again, the mouse pointer is going crazy. I don't know what is it. Should be having some bugs or don't. I don't know. Mine is 80 GB of hard disk. I'm using a VMware, so everything should be like a black color, not the red color. So you need to remember that thing. You already know how to install the Fedora Linux. So if you want to enable root account, you can enable this by typing the password. I'm just, for the sake of the video, I'm just typing simple password. Never type the simple password. It says also, and it's also giving a warning that you need to type in twice because you are using a simple password, as you can see here. Click on done twice. So it's also good and set. And time and date you can choose by drop menu here, or you can directly point out on the location. I want the America Los Angeles. I'm going to choose America Los Angeles. You can choose any location. You don't need to give the actual location. You need to turn on the network time if you want. You can even change these things or customize these things. So here are the some other locations available, like Australia, New Zealand. You can choose anything. I'm choosing Los Angeles. This is a internet connection, user creation or a username and password creation. You need to type in your username. You don't need to provide your actual username. You can give anything you want. And always remember and write down the password if you want. Always give the strong password. It's better to write it down instead of scratching for your head to remember the password. Here are the username and password. You need to type in done twice because it's a simple password. Again, we have almost completed everything. We have completed, not almost. Just need to click in the begin installation, and the installation process going to take like 10 minutes if you are having a good PC. If you are having a low end PC, it should be taking a lot of time, like a maximum of 20 minutes or 15 minutes, like that. So again, it's not for 2 GB of RAM. People who have 2 GB of RAM, it's not a good Linux distro for you because it's going to be a bit of laggy. And again, if you want to use a Fedora Linux and you have a low-end PC, it's always better to go with LXDE or LXQT desktop spin, which are good for the low-end PCs. That's the best option. Or Ubuntu, if you want to use Ubuntu either operating systems, Ubuntu flavors, you can go to that. So this is the installation process. Always remember, even it's a stable version, it's better to wait for a few more days because we don't know if it should be having some bugs. If it doesn't have any bugs, that should be good. Always, even if you want to install it, always boot it in a live mode and try it in a live mode for hours. And after you are satisfied, and if after you don't get any bugs, you go with the installation. It's a tip from me because I don't want you to ruin your PC. So that's the installation process. Let's quit it because we don't want to install it. So I think let's go to some of the apps available here. Let's open the Discover. Let's check the Dolphin file manager. Again, as you can see, there is a bit of lag or a delay to open some apps. About Dolphin, same version. Let's close this thing and Discover. I don't think there is some installed. These are all the installed apps or softwares, you can call it. Settings, you can change settings. About version is 5.27.4. Fetching updates, it's fetching an update, so it's going to take a few more minutes. Again, it's a bit of, not a bit of lag, it's a torture. As you can see, can't even minimize. I'm using a good mid-end PC, but it's again still have issues. Not issues, it's a bit of a delay. These are all the pre-installed apps available, which I already showed, but I'm going to show it again. If you forgot, multimedia, office, settings, ignore my mouse scrolling sound. So these are all the available things. Let me open some of the apps, like important apps like LibreOffice. We need to open some of the important apps because some people want to know what are the versions of the latest apps available from Fedora 38. It's a bad idea to open the lot of apps at once. Not a lot of apps, just 3 to 4 apps. It's going to take ages to open. So we need to have patience. So again, LibreOffice should be open in any second or any minute. Again, ignore some sounds going behind my house. There are a lot of sounds going on here. I don't know, crazy people around my neighborhood. About Dragon Player, this is a version. And here is our LibreOffice. Again, mouse pointer is going crazy, as I should mention that, because instead of clicking somewhere, it's going somewhere. This is a version of LibreOffice 7.5.2. Again, as you can see, the mouse pointer is not working properly, because instead of getting this pointer, it's showing these things like wrong options. It is working good right now, but it was not working properly before. Let's close this thing. Let's see Discover. It's still fetching updates. I think we have our updates available. Not enough space to perform the update. Only 885 MB of space available. There's a lot of updates available. Almost 1 GB of file size available. I don't know what packages are available. Let's click on more information. These are all the latest updates available right now. Let me quickly scroll it down. As you can see, again, the mouse pointer is working not properly. Instead of giving the scroller option, it's showing the text option. As you can see, the mouse pointer, as you look at here, it's showing the text thing instead of scrolling button. I don't know what is going on there. So let's close this thing. We saw that too. What else we still left here is we saw the LibreOffice. These are some games. We don't need to open that. Let's open Color Paint and another app, which is a GNU Graphics. I need to mention that, or I need to point out that the mouse pointer is very bad in the KDE Plasma desktop environment. It's going crazy. For you, it's not properly visible, or it's working properly, but it's, for me, it's a torture, as you can see. So GNU version was that, and about Color Paint, the same version. And again, we have our mouse pointer doing random things. As you can see, there is instead of a mouse pointer, it's going to show the dragger, or what you call it, I don't know. As you can see, there should be a mouse pointer like this, but it's showing something. So I think we have everything opened. So let's open the system monitor and end this torture, or end this video. So beginning of the video, it was like, I think 1.6 GB or something like that, and now it's a 2.8 GB. That's a maximum of CPU RAM consumed, and CPU is good. So here you need to judge that if you want to use this Linux desktop spin, not the Fedora Linux, it's a desktop spin. So if you want to go with the Fedora KDE Plasma, here is the RAM consumption and the CPU and the disk. Here are all the complete info. If you want to see properly how much resources are consumed from my video, just go to the beginning of the video, write down, and ending of the video right now. You should be having a complete resources consumed, exact numbers. So if you can't do that, you can just put it side by side, and you will be having an idea of how much resources are consumed. So let's go to applications. These are all the applications opened. History. CPU is also having a high peak processors. you it's watching good, but it's a mental torture for me. It's going crazy, nothing working properly right now with the KDE Plasma desktop spin. It's a bit of lag and the mouse pointers are going crazy. Instead of opening some other mouse pointer, it's going other opening mouse pointer. So again, that's the end of the video. Let me show you my channel. This part is only for the viewers who want to watch my content without subscribing. People who already watched my subscribed my channel, you don't need to watch this thing, you can just skip it. So people who already subscribe, just ignore this thing. This part is only for the people who want to watch my content without subscribing. No problem if you don't want to subscribe. I have no problem. Ignore my stuttering because I'm a bit of tired. youtube.com/9to5linux. You need to type in this URL if you are using a web browser in your device like a mobile tab or a TV. If you are using a YouTube app in a mobile TV or a tab, just type in 9to5linux. Only if you are using a web browser, you need to type in complete URL like this and click on enter to watch my content daily without subscribing. I'm using a VPN, so it should take a few more seconds instead of a normal timing. I don't know. I think we should be having our channel right now. And as you can see, the mouse pointer is changed again with other things. It's going crazy. I don't know why it's doing like that. So let's struggle with like this pointer only. So here is the about. Let's go to about. This is my channel. I'll post 2 videos daily without missing any day. I'm doing this from past 5 to 6 years, from this day to today. So these are the timings. You need to visit at this timing and you will be having content available. The content should be available before the timings because I'll put it in a premiere. So that's the thing. And if you want to search for this specific term or a specific Linux distro, just type in like a Fedora, for example. You should be having latest content available right in front of you. Whether it's a beta version, development version, or a pre-release or a stable version, as soon as the ISO file is released, the content should be available right that second. So I don't delay or I don't make late content. So that's the point I'm trying to say here. There is always the latest news or the latest release here. So if you go to the community side or a community page, you will be having a latest Linux distro info. Whether it's a distro info or a package info, the latest news will be available here. So keep an eye on it. So if you want only Linux content, if you are here only for the Linux content, just go to the playlist and you should be finding a Linux playlist here. Click on view full playlist under a Linux playlist. You should be having like a 1500 or 16600 videos, like a 1.6k videos, because I made different types of Linux distros or different varieties of Linux distros. I almost cover like a 70 to 80% of Linux distros. As you can see, there are like a 1563 videos, which is almost 1.6k videos, 1.56 almost here. If you want to play all or shuffle, you can do that. I don't know why the lot of glitches here, and the mouse pointer is torturing me again. We need a scroller, but it's showing something else. So again, that's the end of the video. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you don't want, it's clearly up to you. I respect your opinion. I don't force you to subscribe like that. I'm not going to do that. So again, let's close this thing and end this miserable KDE Plasma desktop spin and end the video. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. I already made a Fedora Workstation GNOME version. If you want, watch that video too. So let's shut it down.